Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, family and friends. What a weekend, what a weekend. It is now official. The inauguration is over and playoff season has begun. There's so much on the menu to talk about. I wanted to make fun of some Trump stuff that happened over this that I found absolutely hilarious. Remember, people, some of y'all voted for this, okay? But I'm going to do something a little different today's video. I'm going to go over a conversation I had with one of my family members over the weekend about dating stuff. But first, I do have to touch on the hilariousness that was the inauguration. Okay, so check this out. I told y'all weeks ago that this guy was out on a money grift. All right, he has a NFT meme token, Bitcoin. We're just gonna call it a Trump token. Okay, he has a Bitcoin, whatever, however you want to define it. But over the weekend, it soared to new heights of profitability. It was making so much money. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, making a ton of money. What you didn't know is that 80% of that company is owned by either Trump family member or people in his inner circle. Okay? So that coin soared, and every Trump supporter that sent $100 so they could get a Trump Pokemon card or an ESP or whatever you want to call it, right after the inauguration, that $1 billion Bitcoin crashed because all the people the 80% that own it, Trump and his people, they all sold. They got you on the pyramid scheme. They sold, and now those things are worth butt kiss. They're worth nothing. He got you, okay? Told you this man was out for the grift. He's out for the hustle. 80%, of the people that own the company are in his inner circle. And they all sold. And guess what? Normally that would be called insider trading. But they waited until after the inauguration because, Supreme Court said the president can't be charged with crimes while he's in office. See how that worked? All right. I find that hilarious. Moving on. Immigration. I know you've heard by now that thing with the birthright citizenship is no longer gonna be a thing. Y'all don't think these things through. You don't really understand what that means. He already told you that they're gonna have immigrants coming here. That they're giving the immigrants your jobs. Those H-1B visas, they're giving the smart immigrants your jobs. Keep that in mind. But they already know that they're going to have so many immigrants on visas. That those immigrants are going to be here for long enough where they can start having babies. And they don't want to give them anchor babies. But they're already planning on it being a lot of immigrants that they're giving jobs to. So they wanted to do this law to get rid of birthright citizens. Can you not see? Some of y'all voted for this. Absolute hilariousness to me. They're going to have immigrants. They're going to have a bunch of immigrants. They're going to have so many immigrants that they don't want those immigrants being able to anchor a baby themselves here. You don't want to see it? Y'all are sleeping? You don't want to wake up? Because then you be woke? Okay. Enough. There's too much Trump stuff that I could go on for hours. I'm going to leave that alone because I wanted to touch on this conversation I had with one of my family members. She says to me, why is it a problem? Why do men want women to go 50-50? It's a fair question. But what you have to really understand is that when men are talking about 50-50, they're not being literal. Okay? It's not literal. You pay half the bills. You should be willing to pay your own bills, but that's beside the point. When men are talking about that, it's And I need you to pay really close attention to what I'm about to say, ladies. It's a qualifying question. It's not literal, okay? 50-50, it means effort. It doesn't necessarily mean half of the bills or half of it's effort, okay? Are you putting effort into this relationship, okay? One of the worst things that you could say, and I'm going to give you the perfect example, you've all heard it. When a woman says, his money is our money and my money is my money. So the man's money is everybody's, the woman's money is only hers. That is the worst possible thing that you can say, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not what you're saying, it's what the man is hearing, okay? You're saying that man isn't worth anything. He has no value because you're not willing to spend a single dollar of yours for this man. So, what he's hearing, he goes to work, he gets into a car accident, a horrific car accident, he loses an arm and a leg, and now he's disabled, he can no longer work. Well, you already told him, your money is your money, so you're going to leave him. That's what he hears. I need you to try to soak this in. I know that's not what you're saying literally, but can you understand that that's how it sounds to a man? Well, if something happens to me and I'm no longer able to make money, whether it's disability, whether he lost his job, whatever the case may be, you as the woman have already said you're checked out of that relationship. So vows mean nothing. For richer and poor, sickness and in health, death, it means nothing. That's what the problem is, okay? And I don't think people really, I'm going to say it, I don't think women really understand that, can digest that. That's why I said you need to work with me here. When you're by yourself and you go to Starbucks and you buy an $8 coffee, but when you're with your significant other, you refuse to buy him a $5 footlong at Subway. That's what they're hearing. I know that's not literally what you're saying, but I'm trying to give it to you in a way that you'll understand, and you'll be able to think why men say something, because they're very logical. Like, well, shoot, if I don't have any money, she's already said she's going to leave me. So if something happens to me, you can't. You're telling the man that you can't be trusted. You're not a ride or die. You can't be trusted. That's what you're saying. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can. I see that. All right. Let me do this. Okay. Let's see if this works. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I'm going to add some. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. For a support system to be true, symbiotic, it needs to be a two-way street. That's 50-50 rule. Both partners should establish themselves. I agree. I agree with that. And again, like I was saying, the 50-50 doesn't necessarily mean that you are literally paying half the bills, okay? But if you tell a guy that I'm with you, and now I expect you to pay all of my bills on top of your bills, and I'm not going to put any effort toward this relationship, you're sending the wrong message.
Good morning. I'm at work.
Oh, look at you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I
I was just
had to address
listening.
that. Yeah, I had to address that because it was a family discussion, and when I broke it down like that, my family members understood it, the ones that were there. So hopefully my message is coming out understandable. Did it make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay, good, good. Did you want to add?
What do I want to add? No.
Yeah.
So I don't really do the whole 50-50. I think it should be more of a maybe 60-60, where you give your half, but then you go the extra 10% and try. So again, it's just like in the Bible. So your 10% and my 10% are totally different, right? Because we're on two different levels financially, emotionally. So it's not you're giving, oh, I gave 1,000, you gave 1,000. What does your 10% look like versus my 10%? And I feel like in any relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, a financial relationship, business relationship, if you're giving that amount truly, then it'll work. And by the way,
Man,
subs are not $5 anymore, so it's more like $7.50. I just want to put
yeah, but everybody's heard that $5 footlong. Subs are
yeah,
really probably like $10 now, but
yeah,
the
you're
point is still the
pushing
same.
it.
You get it. The
But
point is
no,
still the
I
same. You
get
knew what
it.
I was talking about.
I get it. And I agree. I agree. So you have a support system. You know, any relationship, I look at like an investment too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's with anything. So how much are you willing to invest in that relationship? Do you really want it to work out? Do you want it to be successful? So that's what it comes down to.
All very valid, good points. Valid, good points. And I don't know, should I be pivoting my, because there's so much to talk about with Trump, but I know that politics gets boring.
I don't
Should
want
I
to be
be
on here when you talk
pivoting my?
about Trump. He get on my nerves. I don't want to talk about it. I have purposely not watched TV for the last 2 days. I don't want to hear it on the news. I don't want to hear about it. I'm just gonna live in a hole for the next 4 years.
So I'll limit anything I say about Trump to like under 5 minutes, just so I can poke fun of Trump supporters. Like, hey, you voted for this. Now this is what you get,
And I hope
and
they,
then
so
I'll
when all this
move
stuff
on.
going crazy, I want them to remember that this is what you wanted when you made them vote. So
Yeah,
this is what we didn't want, which is why we voted against it. But you know,
I
y'all
I
wanted.
don't think they really understand some of the. Even if I touch on that immigration thing, and it's so broad when they do something like that, people don't understand. You could have a grandchild, you know, next week, and all of a sudden they change up the law. Well, now you've got to go through hoops for your child to be a citizen. So, at a broader picture, and I say this because I am black. All of a sudden, they don't want any more black citizens, and they say, "Oh,
Right.
there's no more birthright citizens, so you got to go through, and we're going to accept or decline any born babies to Negroes or Spanish people or Mexico or whatever the case may be." It's not
Mm-hmm.
like that now, but it's if they get this ball rolling, there's no telling how far down the hill it's going to go.
Right.
Oh, well, well,
Well.
I definitely want to thank you for jumping on camera. I know you're at work, and
Right.
I'm
I was
gonna
like, let me get off
I'm
this
gonna cut
call.
this one. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this short. And thank you again, and look forward to talking to you later.
All right. Get yourself some
Bye.
Crocs. It'll make the next 4 years better.
Yeah, that's all right. All right,
Bye.
I'll let that slide.